calendar turns to June, it's time for Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC to start to make up ground in the Western Conference of the USL Championship. And with 3 of their next 4 matches at home here at Widener Field, it is the perfect time to take advantage of the scheduling. Their opponent tonight, though, is not going to make it easy, as this Fresno FC team that comes into play tonight is unbeaten in their last 3 matches. Good evening and welcome to Widener Field. Alongside Roland Vargas, I am Ryan Kaufman. And Roland, 5 consecutive losses for Switchbacks FC, but you wouldn't know it talking to this team. Spirits are high and they feel like they are oh so close to turning this thing around.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. They absolutely do, and they're really happy to be back here in Colorado Springs at Widener Field against a really good Fresno FC Foxes team coming in tonight.
Well, this Fresno team shooting up the table. They come into play tonight in 4th place in the USL Western Conference, and as I mentioned, 3 consecutive matches they have not been beaten in. They're also a top 10 team in terms of goal scoring, and most of that scoring load falls on the shoulders of Kudus Lawal.
Yeah, Lawal can play, Nigerian hitman. He's got 4 goals in his last 3 games in the USL Championship, scoring also in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. He's a tremendous forward.
Well, if you're going to stop a goal-scoring threat like Lawal, you need your back line to be right, and what a revelation Ibrahim Yarrow has been coming over from the country of Ghana.
Yeah, he's been great, Ibrahim Yarrow. He gets forward down the wings. He can play in that central position too if he's needed. He's a really versatile and really good player, strong player, smart player for the Switchbacks FC.
Well, you talk about the confidence that Switchbacks FC have. It embodies Ibrahim Yarrow. No one is more confident in their ability and the ability of his team than Ibrahim Yarrow, and we'll see if that confidence is well founded tonight as the Switchbacks look to move up the USL Western Conference table. Well, when we come back, we will give you the starting 11 for both teams, and then we'll get this underway. It's the Switchbacks and the Foxes, and it's next.
To show appreciation for our diverse military community, Fox 21, SoCo CW, and Affordable Flags and Fireworks have teamed up for the Great American Flag Swap.
Fox 21 and SoCo CW viewers will have a chance to swap out their old flag with the new one at select sponsored locations on Saturday, June 15th.
Old flags will then be retired properly at organizations within the community.
Go to fox21news.com and search Flag Swap for details.
The Great American Flag Swap on Fox 21 and SoCo CW.
You are a fantastic father.
Time travel, it's complicated.
I know. We've already done it. You're my father. I need to learn how to be like you.
What do you think it means to be like me?
You know. Or how about this is all gonna go to your head, isn't it?
Oh, you know what? It looks like it might.
The Flash. Watch Tuesday at 7 on SoCo CW.
Whoever this was, delicious.
Zombies are going hungry.
What's up?
The city will collapse. That guy really doesn't like zombies.
The best zombie of them all.
We're gonna have so much fun while solving crime together.
iZombie. Watch Thursday at 7 on SoCo CW.
I'm Ashley Giovanna.
And I'm Julia McGuire.
Join Fox 21, SoCo CW, the American Stroke Association, and Cycle Nation to ride the revolution.
Saturday, June 8th, 10 a.m. at the YMCA at 1st and Main in Colorado Springs.
Grab a few friends, fundraise at least $1,000 as a team.
The Cycle Nation live event includes music, family-friendly activities, and more.
Space is limited, so make sure to reserve your bike today.
And go to fox21news.com for more information.
Back to Widener Field as we are moments away from kickoff between Switchbacks FC and Fresno FC as you take a look at our Children's Hospital of Colorado player walkout. And Roland, This is kind of where the rubber meets the road for Switchbacks FC. We're now approaching the summer months, and it's time to start getting some results.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect opportunity against a really good Fresno team that's flying high at the top of the USL Championship Western Conference.
Well, let's take a look at the way these two teams will line up. In goal for Fresno, CJ Cochran, one of the best goalkeepers in the league. Ellis Hayden, Daly Del Campo, and Martin in front of him. Basilevich, Elidhojic, Kirimoto, Casillas, and Escamilla in the midfield, and up top will be Jaime Chavez for Fresno FC. And on the other side, for Switchbacks FC, Andre Rawls, MLS-level keeper in net. We talked about Ish Jome and Chris Reeves. Abdul Wadabaye back in the lineup. Ibrahim Yara, who we talked about in the pregame, also back there. Argetta Schweitzer, Malcolm in the midfield. Welcome back Saeed Robinson. He'll start up top alongside Jordan Burt for Switchbacks FC. As you take a look at the starting keeper, Andre Rawls, of course, this is a reunion of sorts between Ronnie Argetta and his former club. Spent one season at Fresno before making his way back to Colorado Springs. As you could see, great shot from our crew there. Light rain shouldn't impede things too terribly much as we get this one underway with Switchbacks FC wearing their home black jerseys as Jordan Schweitzer plays it to the near side for Ibrahim Yarrow. Yarrow back to Chris Reeves. Now ball played towards the middle, tapped away by Fresno. They'll regain control, or gain control, I should say. First possession of the game for Fresno. They work the ball down the far side of the field. Now played back across midfield.
It was a nice high press from the visitors there. Fresno FC winning that ball back off the Switchbacks. See the Switchbacks in their usual formation with Ronnie Argetta holding just in front of the defense. Jordan Schweitzer giving ball to push forward.
Ball play back to CJ Cochran. Cochran sends this one downfield, headed forward by Fresno, but Andre Rawls able to pick this one up. Rawls sends this one out to the near side for Chris Reeves. Now over to Wadabaye as this one comes over to the near side for Ibrahim Yarrow. Yarrow leading Reeves to the middle of the field. They'll play it back to Rawls. Good pressure so far here from Fresno. As now Rawls sends this one downfield looking for Mike Seth. He misses the header. But now Switchbacks FC able to control in the midfield. Ronnie Argetta plays this one up. Now with it is Saeed Robinson. Takes some contact, stays on his feet. And now a whistle will stop play. Our first foul of the game as we take a look here at the keys to the match for Fresno. Keep sharing the ball. One of the best teams in the USL in terms of assists. Continue the scoring barrage. They have been scoring a lot of goals lately, but late in games is what has hurt them defensively. So when we approach the 70th, 80th minute, Fresno needs to show that they can buckle down and hold any lead that they may have accumulated.
They're a really strong team. We talk about it. They're pushing up the USL's Western Conference table in the championship. Fresno, a really strong team. You get a look there at Saeed Robinson. Keys to the match for the Switchbacks FC. They got to relax, being at home, sleeping in their own beds. Get the ball wide as quickly as they can to men like that, Saeed Robinson. And don't rely on the goalkeeper. You mentioned it already, the MLS quality of Andre Rawls. They don't want to lean on him too much.
I had Ish Jome on my radio show yesterday, and he said that exactly what you're saying, Roland, that they were relying on the guy behind them a little bit too much, but he thinks now that things have been a little bit settled back there. Of course, the injury to Jamal Jack threw a big wrench and everything, but now they feel like that back line is solid and they can keep Andre Rawls or whoever plays behind them clean for the most part through 90 minutes. As Wadabaye sends that one downfield, headed back by Fresno. And it will be held up by CJ Cochran. Mike Seth always pressuring. As Cochran sends it downfield, headed by Jordan Schweitzer. Fresno repossesses. They'll play this one through, tapped away by Switchbacks FC. Good play by Radabaye. And now this one played out towards midfield. Fresno back in possession. Approaching minute number 5 here at Widener Field. First of a stretch of 3 of 4 at home for Switchbacks FC. And nothing cures what ails you more than being at home, as Roland mentioned. As this one is sent downfield, Andre Rawls will play it.
You see that ball just accelerating off the surface. We're having a bit of a sun shower here in Colorado Springs, so that will speed up things. Yarrow looks long over the top. Nice run in behind from Jordan Burt, but well defended by Fresno.
Now Switchbacks FC with it. There's Saeed Robinson. Has been battling injuries this season. Made his return midweek in the U.S. Open Cup against New Mexico. And now is in the starting 11. Steve Trichu told us before this match that the lineup was going to look very similar to the one that fell to New Mexico midweek. And really, other than goalkeeper, it has remained intact from the midweek clash, as this one is sent high and wide by Fresno. It will result in a goal kick for Switchbacks FC. So we take a look at our head referee today, Michael Radchuk. He will be assisted by Kevin Locke and Jacob Meyer today here at Widener Field. And the fourth official today is Rob Kiefer. Rawls decides to play this one short to Radabaye. Now to Chris Reeves. Now over to the far side for Radabaye again. He'll send this one downfield looking for Saeed Robinson. It's headed away by Fresno. Mike Seth takes possession for Switchbacks FC. Now Ish Jome. Back to Radabaye in the face of the Fresno pressure. Now Chris Reeves sends it down the near side looking for Shane Malcolm. And that one will be out of play for a goal kick, and that will give us our first chance to look at Shane Malcolm's new due.
Always something new from the Guam Internationals. We get a good look there at the Fresno Foxes head coach Adam Smith, his second season, obviously their first season in the USL Championship last year for his expansion team. He's got them flying high in the USL Championship Western Conference right now.
Yeah, son of former Premier League player Graham Smith. This Fresno team ended up tied with Switchbacks FC last year. Of course, both teams missed the playoffs, but as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Fresno in prime position to make a trip to the postseason, sitting in 4th as we enter play today in the USL Western Conference. Now Jordan Schweitzer able to take this one away, plays it to the near side for Malcolm, who tried to keep it in. And the referee says no dice there. And now we take a look at the only head coach the Switchbacks franchise has ever known, Steve Trichu, 5th season with the club. And, of course, Twitter was ablaze last week per some comments that Steve made. He said, if the club needs to make a change and make us better, I understand. And, look, you take that out of context, Roland, and it looks pretty salacious. It looks like a guy that may be looking elsewhere, but you take it in context with his entire quote to you. It's basically saying, look, I'm happy with the effort. I'm happy with the execution. And I'm happy with the way that our coaching staff has handled things. Now it's just a matter of the soccer gods to shine on us. It's not so much I don't want to be here. It's that I am happy with the way things are going.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. Can't ask anything more from his players. As you said, got a very small squad. As Steve Trichu, he mentioned that as well. Just how hard the guys have been working. I thought they were desperately unlucky to fall midweek in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup to New Mexico United, a team leading the USL Championship Western Conference right now. Here at Widener Field, the Switchbacks fell 2-1 after extra time, after some very controversial refereeing decisions. That was a very unlucky loss for the Switchbacks. I think they should have progressed in that one. But as you said, Steve Trichu, very happy with the effort, guys putting in maximum, staying after practice, getting there early. Just been difficult with some of those injuries. You mentioned those earlier in the broadcast as well. Got some new faces slotting in, and of course that adds a new wrinkle to everything that head coach Steve Trichu is doing.
Switchbacks FC has it. Radabaye on the far side will play this one to Ish Jome. Now back to Chris Reeves. Reeves to the near side for Shane Malcolm. A little bit of contact there on the near side. Picked up by Fresno. Shane Malcolm is... And now Fresno with it as a rainbow forms overhead here at Widener Field. That's got to be a arbiter of good things to come for Switchbacks FC. And now it's picked up by Fresno. Fresno plays this one into the box, a little bit out of the reach of its intended target, and that allows Andre Rawls to get there. You had Diego Casillas streaking down the near side, tried to set up Jaime Chavez, and just slid it out of his reach. So the rainbow, a sign of good things to come. Me mentioning the rainbow, apparently not a sign of good things to come, so I will refrain from jinxing anybody or anything as we move throughout the broadcast. Ball skips off of Ronnie Argueda's foot. I don't think Ronnie was ready for that pass. And now Fresno will quickly run it up and throw this one in. Now the ball played back to Martin. As Fresno continues to work it around. You see the style of play that Fresno employs. They share the wealth. They don't care which one of the 11 players on the field touches it. They have absolute trust in each and every player on this field, and even the guys that are to come off the bench later. Fresno still with control of the ball. Play to Casillas, on the near side. He'll leave this one for Martin. I was just being prophetic there. Fresno maintains control. With it is Martin. He'll play this one back towards midfield. 11th minute here, no score. Some tense moments for both sides as Argueda makes a good tackle there, and now the whistle will come. Thought it was a good tackle at least. Referee with a very quiet whistle there. Maybe he was waiting for the advantage to be played. Diego Casillas down on the near side as Andre Rawls gets ready to send this one downfield, and it will indeed be ruled a clean tackle for Ronnie Argueda. Playing against his former team, certainly no ill will. Ronnie enjoyed his time in Fresno, but I think it speaks highly of the culture that Steve Tritchu has created here in Colorado Springs, that guys like Ronnie Argueda, like Mike Seth, decide when they're out of contract that they'd like to come back to Colorado Springs. Argueda serving as the captain of Switchbacks FC in 2017 before making the move to Fresno. And now back here anchoring the midfield alongside Jordan Schweitzer. Now Jordan Burt with it. Speaking of captains, plays it to the near side for Ibrahim Yarrow. Now Ronnie Argueda weaving his way through the Fresno defense. Great ball to the near side. Saeed Robinson thought he kept it in. The referee on the sideline says not so much. And Saeed may have a case here, but the fact of the matter is that he needed to run under that ball a little bit more, and he would have caught it in stride and would have had a clear path towards C.J. Cochran in the Fresno net. Fresno throws it in. Jordan Burt, a little bit of pressure here, forcing bad pass over to the far side. It will go out for a Switchbacks throw, and Saeed Robinson looks like he's going to be the one to do the honors here. Ish Jome on the far side, steps away from a defender, gives it up to Jordan Schweitzer. Now back to Chris Reeves. Ibrahim Yarrow now likes to get up in the offensive play, sends it into Burt, who heads it towards goal. Not much on it, and Cochran able to shift his way to his left and pick that one up. Of course, a matchup of two teams heading in different directions right now. 3 unbeaten in a row for Fresno. Meanwhile, Colorado Springs is on a 5-match losing streak. But they do have 3 of their next 4 at home. And they're certainly comfortable playing here at altitude. Something that will sure, as that ball is headed away, will sure see manifest itself later in the match for Fresno coming from California. Certainly You can make all the arrangements you want in terms of early travel, hydrating, all that kind of stuff. The altitude still gets you one way or another. And the Switchbacks like to take advantage of that. Always pressuring, always pushing the pace. As Argueta sends this one through the midfield. And this one will end up on the foot of Cochran. Fans, we want to let you know that Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the finest leagues in the world since 1947. Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. 15th minute here at Widener Field. Sunny, strong breeze. Seems like the rain has let up a little bit. Certainly fortuitous that the first 1,000 fans through the gates tonight received a Switchbacks hat. So umbrellas and rain jackets not necessarily needed for some of the fans here at Widener Field. Shane Malcolm volleys this to himself, then skips off of his knee and is played out on the near side by Diego Casillas. Ibrahim Yarrow throws this one into Chris Reeves. Abdul Radabaye now with it. He'll send this one downfield. Didn't get all he wanted on it. Still finds Saeed Robinson. Robinson dribbling out of trouble. Plays it to Ronnie Argueta. Tried to slice it in there looking for Mike Seth. It was returned right back to him. Now he'll play it through, this time to Jordan Burt. The captain plays it out wide to Ish Jome. Now coming up is Saeed Robinson. Good ball trying to play it through to Burt. It's taken away by Fresno. Ish Jome doing a good job of getting back at it. Takes a little bit of a knock. We continue play here though, as Ish got clipped. And now referee will stop play here as Ish Jome goes down to the turf. And we'll see if Ish Jome needs the training staff to come out or he just needs to walk it off. Looks like it's going to be the latter here. The Brooklyn Park, Minnesota native. Came over from Nashville in the offseason. He's going to try to stay in there, which is good for Switchbacks FC because Ish Jome has been such a welcome addition to this club as Cochran picks up the loose ball. As you take a look at the last 4 results, and you can even extend it past that, to show 5 consecutive losses for Switchbacks FC. And the other thing that sticks out when you look at that, only 1 goal scored in the last 4 matches. It was a beauty from Mike Seth, but Shane Malcolm saying earlier this week that even if they only score 1 goal, they got to make that work, as Malcolm on cue gives this one off to Mike Seth. He'll turn it upfield, tries to play it through to Burt. Tip back out to him. Now Fresno gains possession.
A really nice overlapping run by Jordan Burt, trying to get it behind. Good idea by Mike Seth to try to find him early. Just didn't work out. You talked about the difficult run the Switchbacks have been on, not able to score any goals, not able to get those wins.
Casillas on the near side, looking to beat his man. Great job there by Yarrow, sticking with Casillas and knocking that one out. It will result in our first corner kick of the match, and it will be taken by Fresno here. It looks like Jorge Escamilla is going to be the one to take it.
Escamilla, growing up in the Pumas Academy in Mexico City. As you said, going to take our first Pikes Peak National Bank corner kick of the evening here at Widener Field. So the rain seems to have let up. The sun's poking through, got that beautiful rainbow. And here comes the first corner kick of the game for the Foxes.
Pikes Peak National Bank corner kick. Escamilla sends it in with the left foot. Catches the jet stream here at Widener Field, and a foul was called away from the ball. So Switchbacks FC will have it as we enter minute 19 here in the first half.
Ball's just going to keep it simple, go short to Chris Reeves. Switchbacks trying to build out from the back. Does give Fresno a chance to set their defensive line. That 4 strong across the back, keeping the Switchbacks honest, but the Switchbacks very comfortable on the ball. As we talked about, just looking to build out from the back
draw the Foxes out and get him behind them.
Baye has it. Sends it back to Andre Rawls. Fantastic season for Rawls last year at Orange County. As this one sent downfield by Chris Reeves. Again, the wind wreaking all sorts of havoc. Balls that are carrying that the players don't want to carry. Balls that they want to carry that aren't carrying, as Malcolm draws a foul. Ronnie Argueta loses possession. Fresno with it. Fans, we want to let you know that Colorado Computer Support is a proud sponsor of the Switchbacks. Colorado Computer Support are IT professionals. Whistle down in the attacking end for Fresno. And not much doing for either side here so far, Roland. We're still scoreless and haven't really had any chances on goal yet.
Yeah, it's been a very evenly played game. Fresno's gotten some success going forward down their left-hand side, but Ibrahim Yaro's done a good job at that right back position. We talked about him earlier in the broadcast at length. He's done a good job funneling back down that right side for the Switchbacks and holding back Fresno. But a very evenly played game, played right in front of our commentary booth here at Widener Field. Neither goalkeeper really being forced into anything too dramatic in this opening 20 minutes in Colorado Springs.
Rawls back with it. Sending it long, looking for Mike Seth. Couldn't quite get his head on it. Fresno able to control, trying to figure out which direction to go. Now Casillas with it. Ibrahim Yaro pressuring. And now Fresno gets some open space. Hiroki Kurimoto with it. Gives this one off to Busilevich, who immediately gets the return pass. Back to Kurimoto. Now to the middle for Martin Del Campo.
Really important position that Kurimoto's playing there just in front of the back four. You can see him trying to recycle possession as much as he can. Native of Nagoya. Played for Honda FC and Hamamatsu last few years before making his way over to Fresno. A lot of international players. Here he is again on the ball. A lot of international players on show for Fresno FC.
Now with it on the near side is Fresno. Nice footwork there by Elijah Martin. As now the ball is thrown quickly in, and Martin down on the play. And he looks to be in quite a bit of pain here. We saw Ish Jome take some similar contact earlier. It didn't catch him quite as flush as the contact catches Martin there, so he'll be checked out, but he's going to try and stay in the game.
Yeah, good 50-50 challenge there between Jome and Martin. Just Martin coming off a little bit worse for wear. Ibrahim Yaro looks like he's doing well. Ibrahim Yaro on this right-hand side. This Jome on the left. You get a great look here. Good job by the guys in the truck. Both players going in wholeheartedly there for that challenge, and Martin just coming off a little bit worse for wear.
Cochran has it on his feet here. As this one is sent downfield, headed by Chris Reeves. And now taken by Ronnie Argueta. I want to let you know that Colorado Technical University is a proud sponsor of the Switchbacks. Find your future at CTU. Fresno with it on the far sideline. As now the sun beaten through the clouds here at Widener Field. Should make for a pleasant evening here. Some offense would also make for a pleasant evening for Switchbacks FC as Malcolm lets that ball die at his feet. Now Casillas comes to help out. Malcolm staying with it. Casillas forces it off Malcolm and out of play, so now Martin will throw this one in.
Yeah, good defending by Fresno FC. Smart as well to try to double up Shane Malcolm. Switchbacks can get a lot of offensive things going through the Young Guam International. He'll be away with Guam starting next week. Good piece in the Gazette about that. But Shane Malcolm, very dangerous as always going forward. Switchbacks need to get Saeed Robinson a little bit more involved on that left-hand wing if they're to break down this Fox's defense.
Now throwing at midfield, Ish Jome to Ronnie Argueta. Back to Chris Reeves as you take a look at what Fresno has coming up. They have quite a few matches at home. 3 of their next 4 after tonight will be in Fresno as Jordan Burt controls, tries to get it off to a streaking Shane Malcolm, and it just kicks off his shin a little bit too strong there, and it will result in another Fresno goal kick. We mentioned the 3 matches unbeaten streak that Fresno is on. Over the last 5, they're unbeaten in 4 of them. So they continue to make huge jumps, and they have multiple games in hand on the Western Conference leaders, New Mexico, and even a game in hand with Portland and Phoenix, the other 2 teams that they trail. So Fresno in really good position. Switchbacks in good position. Ronnie Argueta off to Shane Malcolm. Good defense there by Fresno. Able to get that ball out, and thought maybe we would see a corner kick. Color me surprised. Mike Seth down there trying to keep it in play, could not. And quickly back the other way.
Yeah, unselfish from Ronnie Argueta to drop that one off into the path of Shane Malcolm. Thought Ronnie could have had a strike. Just decided not to in the last minute. Now you can see getting a little bit back and forth now as Fresno pushed down, but good clean hands there from Andre Rawls on the catch.
First time he's had to elevate to grab the ball here. That 4 guys in front of him have played well here so far. Now Argueta looks to break down the Fresno defense again. Gives it off to Ibrahim Yarrow. To Shane Malcolm, back to Yarrow. Yarrow looking upfield, trying to link up with Jordan Burt, and Martin will be the first one to it as Fresno quickly tries to work it out of their own end. Kurimoto with it, has some space. Now he'll give this one off. Fresno going to send it to the far side of the field here, try to get the Switchbacks out of position. But good job moving side to side by Ronnie Argueta in the Switchbacks midfield. Now Fresno to the near side for Martin. Shane Malcolm on him. Martin gives that one off. Now this one played downfield by Martin Del Campo. Finds a teammate who sends it in, but just wide. Looked like that was a shot attempt, but there was a Fresno player that was crashing the near post, and it just ended up out of his reach, thankfully for that man, Andre Rawls.
Yeah, really difficult one to defend, just as you said. Flashed right in front of the goalkeeper, skipping off this wet surface. The Switchbacks live to fight another day. They'll restart here through the former Fox, Ronnie Argueta.
Fans, you can follow Switchbacks FC and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already signed up and discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Whistle here. And it looks like Michael Radchuk wants to have discussion with some Fresno players. This is going to result in a free kick for Switchbacks FC. As you take a look at Michael Radchuk putting down the spray, and we'll have a joint chiropractic free kick here. The left-footed Jome with it. Now, Alex Milano is another player for Switchbacks FC that takes set pieces, but without Milano in the starting 11 tonight, those set pieces all come into this guy. Ish Jones curls it in. I think it was headed by Mike Seth, but then Fresno takes control and sends it out of play on the far side.
Yeah, Mike Seth being held a little bit there, tried to stoop down, flick that ball on. It's a nice little chip into the box from Jome. Unlucky there for the Switchbacks not to be able to get anything on goal. They'll have a throw in here, try to pin Fresno in the corner. See if they can work this ball quickly and get in behind the Foxes, who've done a very good job being organized defensively so far this evening.
Chris Reeves with it on his own side of the midfield stripe. Now sends this one downfield to Mike Seth. Chests it over to Saeed Robinson. Robinson volleying it to himself. Tried to get it back to Yarrow, who approves of the sequence there for Robinson, but it ends up going out of play for a Fresno throw-in. This one played back by Fresno FC as we're nearing the half-hour mark in this one. The Shandy Clinic, exceptional therapy for exceptional children, proud sponsor of Switchbacks FC. And I know the Switchbacks value the partnership with the Shandy Clinic as much as the Shandy Clinic does with Switchbacks FC. Throw in here. Ali Hadjic over to the far side. Seen Fresno mostly work the near side of the field. Lately, they've been trying to push it out to the far side of the field. As this one is thrown in by Ish Jome, finds Ronnie Argueta. He has a lot of green around him. Now to Yarrow. Good pass. Jordan Burt misplays it. Fresno able to get it back. Fresno with it near midfield. Martin.
The Foxes in no rush, just bringing that ball into the Switchbacks half. Now looking long, that ball is just going to accelerate off the surface as we talked about with this rain shower. Easily go out for an Andre Rolls goal kick for the Switchbacks. So we get a good look there at the keeper down from the Colorado Rapids of MLS.
Yeah, picked up in the re-entry draft by the Rapids this offseason. Was drafted originally by New York City FC. Has some stories about going up against some giants of European soccer in training. David Villa, Andrea Pirlo, just to name a couple. Certainly makes you a better goalkeeper to go against guys like that. As Ish Jome has it on the far side. And Radabaye over to Ibrahim Yarrow. Yarrow to Mike Seth. Seth over to Jordan Schweitzer. Now Saeed Robinson. Argueta. Radabaye plays it down, looking for Ish Jome. Jome keeps in play, curls this one in, and Jordan Burt couldn't get around his defender. Saeed Robinson has it. He'll chip it, and that one ends up on the top of the net. Great ball in there by Ish Jome. Jordan Burt just couldn't get around his man to get his head or anything on that ball. As you take a look at what Switchbacks FC has up next. Seattle Sounders 2 a week from tonight.
And then they're on the road to the Toros of RGV. Fresno FC will restart. Long goal kick forward. It's going to be Jordan Schweitzer's all day. Just gets a flick on that, sees it one through to Andre Rawls.
33rd minute. Both teams looking to break the seal on this one. Radabaye sends this one downfield. Martin heads it. Not a lot on it, so he has to regroup. So now Fresno looks to push it up the field. Now chip forward is Jome, has a beat on it, and he will run it down and casually tap it to Andre Rawls. Both teams getting ahead on it. Now Chris Reeves up to Mike Seth.
Really nice touch from Mike Seth to bring that ball down. You see the switchback switched out to the far side to Shane Malcolm.
And Malcolm, playing on the near side most of this half, has now moved over to the far side of the field, trying to create those matchup problems, some favorable matchups when it comes to Switchbacks FC, as the ball goes out of play on the far side.
It's so dangerous for Shane Malcolm to be able to cut in on that right foot, drifting in off that left wing. Just wasn't able to do so there, being whistled for the foul. Fresno FC in no rush, to restart this one. You see Shane Malcolm. That ball just goes a little bit long, just gets a little bit handsy in front of the ref. Referee right on top of it, and we'll restart.
CJ Cochran picks out his target. And now a whistle as Ibrahim Yarrow had Jaime Chavez on his back. And that drew the whistle. Ish Jome to Ronnie Argueta. Now Jordan Schweitzer. Switchbacks FC trying to figure out the puzzle that is Fresno's formation here. Ish Jome now turns it upfield. Jome trying to get it to Shane Malcolm, still trying to do that. Now Schweitzer has it, he'll rip it, and Cochran makes the save. Ball still in play, or was it? Referee has his flag up for offside. A terrific strike as we take a look at it again, right to Jordan Schweitzer. And the former Orlando man nearly put the Switchbacks up 1-0.
Yeah, absolute peach from the young Canadian. Good, strong save. That'll be a contender for USL Championship saves of the week for sure. Jordan Schweitzer really getting his right foot through that one. Good opportunity for the Switchbacks FC.
So we'll see if Switchbacks FC can build on it here. This one headed high in the air by Chris Reeves. Now Jordan Schweitzer has it. It appears at times in this first half, Roland, that Steve Trichu has allowed Jordan Schweitzer to get more up into the attacking play rather than Ronnie Argueta.
Yeah, Ronnie certainly holding right in front of that back four is the former Fresno FC man, Ronnie Argueta. As you said, Jordan Schweitzer given license to get around, as is Jordan Bird as well. He's done his best to get forward and support the attack with Mike Seth. Want to give a shout out, Ortha Censura, a nod to the doc. As that foul right in front of the Switchbacks bench. Got another good look at it here. Shane Malcolm just tracking back. Referee goes and has a word. But no need to produce the Hanson Hot Springs yellow card for something that light from Shane Malcolm, but a good opportunity here for the Foxes. They'll bring both center backs forward.
Quite a bit of distance, but certainly a chance here for Fresno. They send it in, and that one skips away from Chavez. A little bit too much on that kick from Fresno. Results in another goal kick. Ball to the near side for Ibrahim Yarrow. Yarrow over to Schweitzer. And Radabaye up to Ish Jome. Now Argueta in the middle, gives it off to Schweitzer. Now Chris Reeves has it. Reeves chips this one downfield, looking for Jordan Bird on the header. Fresno able to get it, and now Cochran gets his hands on it here. So we look at Fresno in this matchup. They have a luxury that the Switchbacks do not, and you touched on it earlier in the broadcast, Roland. Just sheer numbers. You have a lot of guys that competed in the U.S. Open Cup midweek that are getting the evening off, or at least getting the majority of this match off. Switchbacks FC, it's not as much tactical as it's out of necessity to have close to the same starting 11 that you had 3 days ago in the U.S. Open Cup.
Yeah, you're 100% correct. Just to clarify, you and I were talking about those comments earlier from head coach Steve Trichu as well in that article. And in that group of comments, Steve Trichu talked about being unable to bring in any other players as the Switchbacks were at capacity. It's not in terms of them being full of players, just don't have the room to bring in any more right now. So limited roster size for the Switchbacks. You talked about it, that both teams going to extra time on Wednesday night. Fresno FC going all the way into extra time with Sacramento Republic, but they were able to rest a couple of their guys. The Switchbacks had to play a very strong lineup to try to get back get past New Mexico United, which they almost did, were it not for that difficult decision that went against the Switchbacks in the second half of that match here at Widener Field.
Yeah, the difficult circumstance that Roland's referring to, a late red card given to Ronnie Argueta. He committed a foul in the box, which earned a penalty for New Mexico, but then didn't like the call and got shown a red. As we want to let you know, you can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Switchbacks FC and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, get reminders on the Switchbacks next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. So a little bit of contact that happened. Ronnie, in his zealousness after got called for a foul that he didn't believe he committed, may have grazed the official in that match, and that got him shown a red card. Of course, the penalty was then converted by New Mexico, and they go on to win and advance in the U.S. Open Cup, where they will take on Colorado Rapids. Jordan Schweitzer up to Jordan Burt. Over to Saeed Robinson. Robinson to Argueta, gets his jersey pulled, stays on his feet, keeps possession. A little bit more contact initiated by Fresno. Argueta able to get it to Yarrow. He'll curl this one, looking for a post. Both teams miss with a header, and now Fresno with the extra guy over there is able to clear it out, and now a whistle as Nwadabaye gets cleared out. Yeah. So we'll have a free kick here for Switchbacks FC.
Yeah, good win from Nwadabaye there. The young Rwandan called that ball early, won it cleanly, was just taken out on the landing. Referee spotted that. I think the Switchbacks are complaining there wasn't an advantage played there, but they got the free kick in the end. And they'll restart here, just a little bit of 1-2 with Chris Reeves before they start their attack. But I thought it was a really good performance on Wednesday night against New Mexico United in that Open Cup loss for the Switchbacks. And I know it's not much, but getting that goal, something to build on, something that everybody talked about after the game. They're happy to get that monkey off their back, get that goal to fly in, see if they can build on it here tonight against a Fresno FC team that's really making some moves up the USL Championship Western Conference table.
Cochran sends this one to his counterpart, Andre Rawls. As we approach the last handful of minutes here in a scoreless first half. Yarrow with it on the near side. Over to Chris Reeves. Reeves swung around the field here to Ishjom. Now Argueta. Taken away by Fresno. Now Mike Seth closing in, tried to take it away. Fresno keeps it. Now they'll play it back to the back line here. Kurimoto. Now sent over to the far side. As Fresno again tries to work their way downfield, taken away by Ishjom. Now Argueta sends this one near side. Saeed Robinson trying to run underneath it. Well-timed header there by Martin. Gets it to Cochran. And now he'll play it up here as Fresno trying to make strides downfield and get a chance to beat Andre Rawls before the first half expires, as this one sent over the far side. Wynn catches it. Shane Malcolm comes down with it, gives this one off to Argueta. Now he'll play it forward, looking for Robinson again. This time he finds him. Saeed Robinson gets away from Martin, still on his feet, takes a shot, stop, another shot, save. Seth tries to make it go and cannot. As the ball ends up going out of play, it will be a corner kick, but my goodness, a microcosm of the last month or so, if I've ever seen one. Look at Saeed Robinson. Great job getting rid of Martin. A great stop by not only a Fresno defender, but Cochran, and then another save by a Fresno defender. Keeps the ball out of the back of the net. Great sequence by that man, Saeed Robinson. Do that again, I promise you will end up in the back of the net. Here's Ishjom lining up the Z-trip corner kick. A little bit too much on that one. Again, the wind swirling above Widener Field. Mike Seth keeps it in play, headed away by Fresno. Now here's a shot coming from Chris Reeves, redirected by Fresno, and it'll be out for another corner kick. So business picking up here late in the first half. Switchbacks FC went about 43 minutes without a corner, and now they're getting 2 in the span of about 30 seconds. As Ishjome will now trot to the far side of the field to take the Phil Long corner kick here.
Really good sequence by the Switchbacks FC. Brilliant play from Saeed Robinson, drifting in off that right-hand wing for the Switchbacks. We'll see what they can conjure up from this Phil Long corner kick.
Jome sends this one in, and that ends up in the back of the net!
Jordan Burt, the captain, fantastic header, runs to that near post. It was a great whip ball in by Jome. Jordan Burt gets his head to it right before the half. 1-0 Switchbacks FC.
Exactly how you draw it up. Take a look at it again. Jome right to Burt. You can't place it any better than that. And they beat CJ Cochran to take a 1-0 lead. The hugeness of that goal can absolutely not be understated as you see the reaction from the Switchbacks teammates. Ishjome immediately learning, took the corner on the near side, got too much air underneath it, saw that the wind took it, went over to the other side, said I gotta keep this one lower, did, found the right plane, and Jordan Burt, the captain, adds to his team lead in goals, as that'll be goal number 4. In fact, he'll take over the team lead by himself as Shane Malcolm will now have to try and answer. Yeah. Burt with 4 goals and Shane Malcolm with 3.
Yeah, what a brilliant run it was from Jordan Burt as well, from outside in, just going right to that near post, just helping that ball and didn't need too much power. Perfect placement. And 1-0 to the Switchbacks. It's a great job getting those back-to-back corner kicks, all started by that run on the right wing by the young Jamaican Saeed Robinson.
Now if you're Switchbacks FC, you need to buckle down here. You cannot afford to give up a goal late, as that one grazed the arm of a Fresno player on the far side. We'll have just the 1 minute of TikTok shop stoppage time, which Andre Rawls will wisely use as much of it as he can. Still probably got to get off this kick here. Referee telling Rawls to play it. He'll send it downfield. Mike Seth going up for the header, and that whistle will conclude, or will it? Is a foul called. Thought they were blowing the whistle to end the half. Instead, it was a foul call. So play will continue. Fresno will have this free kick, and unless they go for goal, I don't think they're going to get a chance to score before the end of the half. They will not. A huge goal by that man, Jordan Burt, off the Ishjome header, puts Switchbacks FC on top 1-0 after the first 45 minutes of play. Stay tuned, more to come from Widener Field after the break. What a beauty of a header from the captain, putting the home team up 1-0.
What looks like an ordinary teddy bear is actually much more. How a local business is taking mementos of loved ones and turning them into a keepsake to cherish. Wednesday at 9 on Fox 21 Local News right now.
I'm feeling so cool.
Together.
Together.
We're all for it.
All for it.
All for acceptance. Joining forces. Being an ally.
All for expression. Finding your voice. Finding yourself.
Finding your power. All for Mr. Mom.
Miss Save the World.
Or no labels at all.
All for showing out.
Standing out.
Coming out.
All for defying stereotypes.
Defying gender types. Defying whatever you want.
All for we. All for us.
All for together. The CW. Dare to defy together.
It was mind-blowing.
Man, can you dance? I was like, ooh. That, my friend, is on another level.
Monday at 8 on Fox 21. Getting to the top of Pikes Peak is no easy task, much less designing a structure at 14,000 feet. Fox 21's Craig Coffey explores the challenges now being faced by the architects and engineers. What's making the new Summit House project like no other? Thursday morning on Fox 21 Local News Right Now.
Statesboro, it's like this little oasis of a location.
I think Statesboro loves itself. It's the first thing I would say.
This is a win for the community. Not only are we getting a professional level soccer team, a sport that's loved around the world, but we are now creating an economic development area that's going to have a huge impact on our community and throughout this region.
I'm not surprised, to be honest, that Tormenta was one of the first teams approached when League One came about. I think it was blatantly obvious to everyone that knew anything about American soccer that Tormenta was a force in League Two, and everything from top to bottom was done so professionally that I had a good year in college and I had some other looks, but for me, I wanted to be at Tormenta FC, and I knew there was 10 other guys coming back here that I knew were bought in and they have the same goals that I do.
This is the first step of a very, very, very long journey. This is a league match. We set some pretty lofty expectations for results this year, did we not? Yeah. Okay?
Getting here, okay, is a good place to be. And now, what you guys need to do is take it that one step further.
Family, boys! Family, family, family!
Yeah!
Into the box, a strike, and a goal. Beautiful piece of it, knocked away by
Welcome back to beautiful Widener Field in Colorado Springs, Colorado. This halftime segment sponsored by the Shandy Clinic. Speech, physical, occupational therapy, ABA as well. One of the proud sponsors of everything Switchbacks FC and the SoCo CWs. We take a look at the USL Championship. Western Conference standing, New Mexico United. We talked about them during the first half, flying out to a first place lead. Fresno, the team that's on show here this evening in Colorado Springs, in fourth place. LA Galaxy and RGV FC Toros rounding out the top 10 out west. Real tight Western Conference so far in the USL Championship, as it seems to be every week. Tulsa Roughnecks holding the halftime lead over the new Austin Bold FC Orange County. RGV, the Toros, locked in a 0-0 draw. Same with St. Louis and Memphis. Birmingham Legion, Tampa Bay Rowdies. Tampa Bay looking to extend their streak at the top of the USL's Eastern Conference table with a 2-0 lead over Birmingham right now. Later tonight, Reno, Las Vegas. That should be a great game, one of our featured games. Sacramento Republic, San Antonio, Ottawa, Charlotte, New Mexico United against the Energy. That'll be on Wednesday. Everything coming up on ESPN Plus, all times Eastern Time Zone. Phoenix, they're rising. They're doing a great job in the USL's Western Conference table, vaulting up the table. We talked about the Tampa Bay Rowdies, making it really difficult to find a loss on their resume, and the Las Vegas Light signing in some new players. Jose Villarreal, formerly with the Los Dos, and Jesus Gonzalez, a player that the coaching staff in Las Vegas knows very well. And we take our look at the USL Championship Team of the Week. Lawal, we thought he would be on show tonight for Fresno. He wasn't. Pickens, the USL Championship Player of the Week after some fantastic saves for Nashville. Hackshaw, Santi Moore, we've seen him here in Colorado Springs in the Open Cup. He's a tremendous player for New Mexico United. He starts on the left wing of that USL Championship Team of the Week just behind Salazar partners. Lawal up top. And we're just getting ready. See there, the Player of the Week, Matt Pickens from Nashville. Brilliant goalkeeper, brilliant beard, brilliant performance as well. And we got my partner Ryan Kaufman standing by with a very special guest. Over to you, Ryan.
Thank you, Roland. Yeah, I pulled a few strings and I was able to corral the president of the Switchbacks, Nick Reagan. Nick, thanks for joining me out here.
Absolutely. Thanks for bringing out the sun.
Yeah, well, it's the least I could do. Let's first talk about the giveaway tonight. A terrific giveaway. These sharp-looking Switchbacks hats. Pikes Peak Brewing helped you guys out with these. This is a sharp-looking hat.
It's a fantastic hat. Yeah, Chris Wright. Shout out to Chris Wright at Pikes Peak Brewing. He's been a fantastic partner. He was one of the first people that we met with in Colorado Springs, and Chris has been on board since day one. And I think this is either the third or fourth vintage from Pikes Peak Brewing with the Switchbacks logo on the front. So thanks, Pikes Peak Brewing. Thanks, Chris.
Well, since we have you out, let's do a State of the Union real quick. Obviously, fans right now are wondering how the organization feels about the way things are going. Obviously, the results aren't there, but you and I speaking off camera a little bit, you feel like the players do, and like we all do, that they're very close to breaking through and turning this thing around.
Yeah, if you look at our teams throughout the seasons, from a quality standpoint, from a professionalism standpoint, from a character standpoint, hands down, we have the best group of guys that we've had since our first year. We have had a rough patch. Fortunately, points-wise, you can make up a lot of ground pretty quickly when you get going. We got to get going, and there's been several things. You know, it's great to see Saeed out here tonight. He's been out for quite some time. We expect some news on some other players and opportunities that come down through the pipeline later on this month that we're excited about. So we have a lot cooking between the team and the downtown stadium that we have a lot that we're investing into and we're planning on. So there's a lot going on, and there's a lot to be excited about. You know, it's like hiking up in the mountains. You don't always get the beautiful views. Sometimes you're walking through the valleys, and so we're a bit of a valley. We'll get there.
Well, appreciate that, Nick, and we're excited about the way this game has started so far. Hopefully 45 more good minutes are ahead for Switchbacks FC.
Hold it, baby.
When we come back, we'll get the second half underway. Switchbacks up on Fresno, 1-0.
Still is.
I'm feeling so cool.
Together. We're all for it.
All for it.
Lately I've been feeling so cool. Tell them I'm just cool.
All for acceptance. Joining forces. Being an ally.
All for we. All for us.
All for together. The CW, dare to defy together.
To show appreciation for our diverse military community, Fox 21 SoCo CW and Affordable Flags and Fireworks have teamed up for the Great American Flag Swap.
Fox 21 and SoCo CW viewers will have a chance to swap out their old flag with the new one at select sponsor locations on Saturday, June 15th.
Old flags will then be retired properly at organizations within the community.
Go to fox21news.com and search Flag Swap for details.
The Great American Flag Swap on Fox 21 and SoCo CW.
You are a fantastic father.
Time travel is complicated.
I know. I've already done it. You're my father. I need to learn how to be like you.
What do you think it means to be like me?
You know. How about... This is all gonna go to your head, isn't it?
Oh, you know what? It looks like it might.
Flash. Watch Tuesday at 7 on SoCo CW.
To show appreciation for our diverse military community, Fox 21 SoCo CW and Affordable Flags and Fireworks have teamed up for the Great American Flag Swap.
Fox 21 and SoCo CW viewers will have a chance to swap out their old flag with the new one at select sponsor locations on Saturday, June 15th.
Old flags will then be retired properly at organizations within the community.
Go to fox21news.com and search Flag Swap for details.
The Great American...
Back here at Widener Field, moments away from getting the second half going. Jordan Burt from Ish Jome late in the first half has the Switchbacks up 1-0. This halftime segment brought to you by the Shandy Clinic, exceptional care for exceptional children. As we take a look, Roland, at the highlights from the first half, weren't a ton, but the one big one went in the direction of the home team.
Yeah, Fresno FC had some good opportunities. This is a great snapshot by Jordan Schweitzer, portended things to come there. Good save in the end. Saeed Robinson, this is what led to the Switchbacks getting that bevy of corner kicks.
Yeah, Saeed Robinson was just a great sequence, but Fresno stood up, and then here it is. It's Jome on his second corner kick of the game, able to find the captain, Jordan Burt, who redirects it past CJ Cochran, and for the first time in a while, Switchbacks FC has a lead at the break. As we take a look at the statistical data to back up everything Roland and I have been saying, so far pretty much everything going the way of the home side.
Yeah, it certainly is. That possession just edged by the Switchbacks. Shots on target. You saw that good save, and obviously the goal from Jordan Burt. Switchbacks leading that category narrowly, 2-0 right now. Fresno FC really has to turn things on if they're going to get in behind the Switchbacks in the second 45 minutes. Switchbacks done a good job keeping everything in front of them, playing good team defense, not really leaving their defenders to expose at any point in that first 45.
Arun Busilevich over the ball. He's going to get this second half underway for Fresno. And Busilevich doesn't make a liar out of me as he gets it underway. Sent downfield immediately by Fresno. Radabaye sends this one back towards midfield. And both of these teams coming out flying here in the second half. Fresno wants to try and equalize early here as this one is sent in, headed away by Switchbacks FC. Will go out for a throw-in as Fresno will have it on the far side. It will be Elijah Martin to get this one in. And I believe Fresno has made a change at the break, and Jamal Johnson has made his way into the 11 here. We'll get confirmation of that, but we talked about, Roland, at the beginning of the broadcast, how with Fresno's numbers, they had a chance to rest some of their key players in the first half, but you knew that Andy Smith would employ them if necessary, and I would say a 1-0 deficit would certainly qualify as being necessary. So Jamal Johnson starting this second half for Fresno as they look to equalize early here in the second half. Meanwhile, Switchbacks FC with it in the midfield circle is Ronnie Argueta. Plays it up to Mike Seth. Playing Seth a little bit higher. Normally Seth is waiting back, but with the urgency that this team is playing with, come get the ball is what they're telling Mike Seth, and then make something happen after that.
Certainly heavy legs as well for the visitors from Fresno with that extra time game against Sacramento Republic in the U.S. Open Cup in midweek. Well, we see some additional stars on show. We haven't seen them yet. You talked about the rolls of the dice that Fresno FC came in to try to freshen those legs up, see if they can bring some more firepower into the game. That's Andre Rolls from that Switchbacks unit.
Well, speaking of that firepower, 3 goals on the year for Johnson as he sends it into the box. This one hanging up, and Casillas able to keep it in play and then fires it off of the knee of Ishjome, and this will be a throw-in for Fresno. Good job by Casillas to not only keep the ball in play, but force it out eventually off of Switchbacks FC as they get ready to throw it in. Here's Zach Ellis Hayden, and immediately gets the pass back. Now they'll play it out towards midfield.
Pressure as always from Mike Seth. You mentioned that in the first half. Good job trying to shut down those passing lanes. Just a little bit isolated up top. Here to start the second 45 for the Switchbacks, but a nice win there. You could clear Jordan Burt's going to try to track that one down right in front of the Switchbacks bench.
Burt, the hero in the first half, of course, he would, being the good captain that he is, give all the credit to Ishjome, who took the corner kick, but a terrific header by Jordan Burt. Now has the team lead in goals all to himself with 4. But you look at number 23 on the far side, Shane Malcolm. You know he's not going to want to let that stand for the rest of this matchup. Expect Shane Malcolm, who has 3 goals on the season, to insert himself into this game. And that's the kind of competitive nature that these Switchbacks players have with each other. They don't want to lose to their opponent or each other, as this one is sent through. Fresno with a bead on it. They'll let Cochran play it. Sent over everyone's head. Headed by Switchbacks FC. Now Fresno back with it. A little bit of a collision near midfield. Picked up by Jordan Schweitzer. Now Muradabaye slips on the play. That allows Casillas to get there. Now Schweitzer comes in hard with the challenge. A clean one, though, as Fresno continues to keep possession. Played out wide. Martin comes up from his left back position. Now gives it off to Johnson. Jamal Johnson sends this one in again. Rawls sprawling. And this one is cleared out by Ishjome.
Yeah, good positioning from Nguadabaye, being right there behind Rawls. Sold himself out, tried to get that one, just skipped off that wet surface, but Nguadabaye was there to clear for the Switchbacks.
Now Jome plays this one up to Saeed Robinson. Robinson playing up to Shane Malcolm, a little bit out of his reach. Now Jordan Burt tried to fire it to the far side for Mike Seth, and if he would have kept his footing, maybe he would have delivered it to him, but slipped on the play, and the ball will go out on the far side. Thankfully, though, for the home side, it stays with Switchbacks FC. Just underway here in the second half. Switchbacks FC with a late first half goal has the lead. Looking to snap a 5-match losing skid. And as Switchbacks president Nick Reagan mentioned during our halftime conversation, feels like good things are coming from this team, and is very confident in both the players and the coaching staff. As now the ball is played over to Casillas. Casillas trying to get around Ishjome. And Jome with great defending there knocks it away. Casillas will get to throw it in, though.
Yeah, good job holding his position by Jome on that left back spot for the Switchbacks FC. Fresno have started well in the second 45, really got their tails up, putting the Switchbacks under some pressure. So nice tackle earlier that we saw in this sequence from Ronnie Argueta to hold Fresno back. They'll come again right in front of the Z-trip corner. Jordan Schweitzer tracking back and winning his team the goal kick.
51st minute here at Widener Field, home of the Switchbacks. Ryan Kaufman alongside Roland Vargas. Glad you're tuned in for this one. As Andre Rawls places this ball, surveys the landscape, decides to play it short. Now allow Chris Reeves to play it downfield, which he proceeds to do. Now Fresno reclaims possession. Now ball initially taken away there by Switchbacks FC. Fresno gets it back, and just as I say that, the possession changes twice. Now Fresno back up the field. Casillas trying to keep it in play, does. Gives this one off to Busilevich. Johnson to Busilevich. Now swung out wide to Martin. Martin, few step overs. Gives this one off. Now a fire, and I think Nwadabaye got his head on it, and now a chance for Switchbacks FC to break the other way. Burt plays it to Shane Malcolm. Malcolm trying to get it to his front foot. Now gives it off to Syed Robinson. Robinson tees it up, and that one just clears the crossbar.
Yeah, good idea there from Syed Robinson, trying to catch Fresno FC out. Stinging drive, as always, by the young Jamaican. Him and Shane Malcolm been switching flanks this entire game. That ball just sits up nicely, gets it on his favored right foot, just unable to keep it down, but a nice break forward started there by Jordan Burt, tracking down that loose pass just inside the Fresno half.
Now here's Jome, gets his pass knocked away. Now Ronnie Argueta with it. Mike Seth gets taken down, which gives us a moment to let you know that you can follow Switchbacks FC and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, UFC, and more. Join the over 2 million sports fans who have already discovered ESPN Plus and watch the championship live every week. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Andre Rawls, or CJ Cochran, excuse me. Andre Rawls is the other guy. Whistle here near midfield. And Fresno will get a restart in the 54th minute.
Yeah, referee just having some words off the ball there with Syed Robinson. Just calming things down. Very demonstrative, the referee. Good job with our crew catching that. As we see Ziggy next to our booth, decked out in the R2-D2 jersey that will be on auction and on show next Saturday here at Widener Field. Fresno FC being pushed back. Good job by Shane Malcolm, helping out on the right side there defensively. That ball's going to get worked all the way out to Fresno's right.
With it now is Ellis. Ellis trying to turn the corner on Syed Robinson. Robinson immediately looks up at the side official and with his hands up like, I didn't do anything. Referee says, I know you didn't. And now Andre Rawls will have a goal kick. At least that's from up where we're sitting, at least what it sounded like to me. Now Switchbacks FC sends this one downfield. Jordan Burt just missed with the header. Cochran runs up and all in one motion rolls it out to Diego Casillas.
Mike Seth was making a nice run off of Jordan Burt there. If Burt had been able to flick that ball on. Nice ball up the right-hand side. Jome has got to do some lung-busting tracking back here.
Casillas with the cross header going far post. Rawls collides with the Fresno player, and the referee right on top of it. Great job by Michael Radchuk, immediately saying that one's not going to stand. Ball ended up going in the back of the net. We'll take a look at it again. Casillas with a great run, plays this one in, a great header, and then a collision between Arun Busilevich and Andre Rawls. It ends up in the back of the net.
Yeah, the Bronx, New York native just takes a bit of Rawls with him. As you said, good job by the referee being right on top of that one, blowing that for a Switchbacks FC foul. Ronnie Argueta and Nwadabaye get a little bit tangled up there, but no harm, no foul. And Shane Malcolm now has got a good chance.
Malcolm trying to play it up to Syed Robinson, played away by Fresno. Now Martin takes control. Switchbacks FC hoping that that's the only ball that ends up in the back of their net in this matchup, as Reeves sends it back to Andre Rawls. Rawls sends this one downfield over the head of Jordan Burt, headed by Fresno. Now Syed Robinson to Shane Malcolm. Over to Schweitzer. Back to Argueta. Argueta reverses fields to the near side for Joan. One-on-one with Casillas. Joan back to midfield for Nwadabaye. Schweitzer to Argueta. Back across midfield. And now Chris Reeves with it. Over to Ibrahim Yarrow. Now Fresno steps in front of it. Fresno player slipped on the play. A chance for Switchbacks FC once again to break the other way. Mike Seth with it. He's waiting for reinforcements. Gives it to Syed Robinson, trying to leave it for a teammate. Malcolm over to Argueta. Argueta to the near side is Joan. Joan one-on-one, steps away with the right foot. It's blocked out front. Never made it through to Cochran. That is not Joan's dominant foot. Still got a good piece of that ball.
Yeah, it was
CJ Cochran certainly appreciative of the help he has up front.
Yeah, that ball was angling goalwards. It was a nice block right in front. As you said, keeping Cochran clean, but a good spell of play here by the Colorado Springs Switchbacks FC, pushing Fresno very far deep into their own half.
Syed Robinson plays it back to Chris Reeves. Reeves out wide to Ibrahim Yarrow. Yarrow plays this one forward. Shane Malcolm trying to get on the other end, and it skips away from him. Ibrahim Yarrow. I'll tell you about Ibrahim in just a moment. We want to first showcase our Jack Quinn's Irish Pub fans of the game. As you can see, just maybe a light blanket, hoodie. And that's all you need tonight at Widener Field. A great night for soccer as we're in to the 1st of June. So I was saying that Ibrahim Yarrow recently had a baby girl. So congratulations to Ibrahim on that, as this one is played to the near side.
Yeah, he certainly did, burning up the FaceTime, keeping in track with everybody back home.
Of course, comes from country of Ghana. So I'm sure difficult to be away from his little girl, but given the opportunity that Ibrahim has to make a life in the U.S. for he and his newborn daughter, a couple months away, might be worth the price there, as Whistle will give Fresno the ball. Jordan Burke couldn't keep it in play along the far sideline.
Yeah, the now non-mustachio Jordan Burt, native of Elkhart, Indiana. Give a shout out to his dad, Stan. I know he's watching as always. Fresno FC will restart as the Switchbacks get back. A lot of freedom for Jordan Burt in the second half to get forward, almost playing as a secondary striker at times, with Mike Seth leading the line for the Switchbacks FC, trying to keep the Fresno defense in midfield honest, not able to push too far forward against the Switchbacks as they go in search of a game-tying goal.
Fresno careful with it, with Mike Seth lurking. Diego Casillas back with it. Martin Del Campo getting it to the midfield. Now Fresno looks to get it going. Good deflection there by Ronnie Argueta. Now Jordan Schweitzer with it. Quickly reverses fields over to Shane Malcolm. Guam International got it taken away. Martin took the worst of that exchange, and now Fresno will keep control of it. Martin hanging in there. Second time he's been clipped, and this time it looks to have hurt him a little bit more than the last one did, as this ball goes in, and Radabaye with a great slide to play that one out. Martin's working his best to stay in there as some Fresno reinforcements start to get up and stirring by the Fresno bench. Now Fresno with it on the far side, Jamal Johnson.
And what a substitution that's be able to call on to bring in a player of the quality of Jamal Johnson, someone that Shane Malcolm mentioned during the week being one of the more dangerous players in the USL Championship Western Conference, as Shane Malcolm just tries to help that one over to Jordan Burt, is unable to do so, and Fresno will try to keep the Switchbacks pinned in their own half.
Well, we have a moment. Want to let you know that you can get updates and alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for Switchbacks FC, then click the follow button to keep up with the latest, as that ball sails out of play, news and scores. Plus, get reminders on Switchbacks FC's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Andre Rawls will do the honors here. 1-0, Switchbacks FC doing their damage late in the first half. Ish Jome on a just absolute peach of a corner kick, finding Jordan Burt, who headed it away from CJ Cochran and into the near post of the goal you were just looking at. And that is the difference in the match right now, as Fresno sends this one downfield, and Radabaye tries to get the header. Fresno instead will have it. Now up to Ish Jome. Jome with a head of steam gives it off to Saeed Robinson. Robinson back across midfield. Chris Reeves back to Andre Rawls. A couple of guys with some MLS ties as Rawls sends this one downfield looking for Jordan Burt. Header won by Fresno instead, though. Now Burt. Foul there. Quick restart here for Fresno. Johnson gives this one up. Good play here by Fresno as they start to build up. Ball played to the near side for Casillas. He'll send this one in. Headed away by Switchbacks FC. Ball still in play, though, and it's headed away by Ronnie Argueta. Is Jome going to the side to try to keep it in play? And alas, he cannot as we take a look at this again. Casillas with a good ball in, and a great job by Abdul Radabaye to get his head on it. As this one curled in, headed away this time by Chris Reeves. Fresno still with it, trying to pressure, get another shot on goal, and now the Switchbacks will take it away. Out comes Shane Malcolm. Malcolm with one man to beat, that's Martin, and that's a tough man to beat as Martin ended up tipping the ball out of play. Good defensive effort there by Martin. And now a throw-in coming from the far side for Switchbacks FC. Ibrahim Yara will take it.
That ball was very difficult to defend. We saw on that replay for Andre Rawls with the sun setting out west, as Jared Goff knows. Getting right in the eyes of Andre Rawls, making it very difficult for him to come and collect that. It was Jamal Johnson, the substitute, just swinging at that ball, not able to keep his shot down, but that was a good opportunity for Fresno FC as now the Switchbacks break forward. Jordan Schweitzer just trying to play that ball into Saeed Robinson. Saeed Robinson puts up his hand, acknowledges that pass in behind from the young Canadian Jordan Schweitzer.
The band just went to a Super Bowl, and still all we remember is that he didn't know what direction the sun set in.
Well, it changes because the earth rotates.
Throw-in coming, maybe not. Referees always sticklers for the rules, aren't they? Wanted the throw-in to come a little bit further back. And now a collision in the air. Casillas goes down.
Are you kidding?
Rubbing that right ear. And the restart here, man, that pass nearly taken away by Mike Seth. Fresno keeps it.
Yeah, dangerous playing that ball right in front of the back four there with Mike Seth lurking. Seth and Burt doing a very good job keeping that Fresno FC defense honest in this second 45. Nice takeaway from Ronnie Argueta and good strength from the young Californian out of Costa Mesa.
Now Jordan Schweitzer with it, and Radabaye gets it to Ish Jome, and a good slide tackle there by Diego Casillas. He's had a nice game, getting in the action both defensively and going forward. Had a great cross earlier that nearly gave Fresno a great shot at equalizing here. As Fresno again tries to work it up the near side. A little bit of contact there from Saeed Robinson. Michael Radchuk blows the whistle. Restart coming here. Arun Basilevich going to take this free kick for Los Zorros. Three years of college Spanish, no big deal. Vasilevich getting ready to tee this one up. Sends it, far post, headed away by Switchbacks FC. Argueta tried to get his foot on it, and Fresno able to regain possession. Swung out to the far side. Ibrahim Yarrow with a great play. Leads Shane Malcolm downfield. Malcolm, 1-on-3, will wait for reinforcements. Plays it out wide. Yarrow gives this one up and was expecting the return pass, and it was taken away by Fresno, but all at a moot point as the play was whistled offside. So
I believe Fresno's about to make a change. I think it's Seth Moses going to be checking in, try to add some more firepower to this Fresno FC lineup as they go and search that equalizing goal. They haven't put Rawls under too much pressure in that Switchbacks net in the second 45, and a very composed defensive performance so far by the Switchbacks, and here will be that change.
As you take a look at Seth Moses coming into the game, and it looks like Amir Alhajic is going to have his night come to an end.
Yeah, former University of Nebraska Omaha Maverick Amir Alhajic, who just went out. Seth Moses checking in. See if that can add something to their attack.
So one substitution left for Fresno FC. Switchbacks have yet to use one. As now Casillas gives this one up. A little bit of contact from Ronnie Argueta. Able to get it away. One more time, our Gold's Gym substitution. Seth Moses into the game. Amir Alhajic coming out for Fresno as Moses helps up Ronnie Argueta. And now we're going to see a substitution from the other side, and looks like it'll be the UCLA product, Matt Hunley, who will check into the contest. So you wonder what way the substitutions are going. We've talked about the short bench as Shane Malcolm will come out of the contest, whether Steve Tritchie was going to go more of a defensive substitution or offensive. Get in while the getting's good, bring in another offensive-minded player and see if you can't get another goal here in the second half. So Matt Hunley in for Shane Malcolm, the first Gold's Gym substitution of the match for Switchbacks FC. And now Fresno coming back across midfield.
And we'll see if Hunley and Robinson continue to switch on those flanks the way that Shane Malcolm and young Saeed Robinson were doing up until this point. As you said, Hunley brings a lot of creativity. Also something new maybe from the set piece as well, offers that right foot from the set piece, or should the Switchbacks have one in the Fresno half.
Ball going out of play here. Hunley on the year, still looking for his first goal as a member of Switchbacks FC. Now a throw-in coming on the far side. Long throw-in headed by Mike Seth. Up to Jordan Burt. He'll play it forward. Side Robinson's on side. Robinson gets it. Only one man to beat. Robinson tees it up, and just at the last moment, it looked like the Fresno defender got in there. I think it was Zach Ellis Hayden who was on Syed Robinson. We'll take a look at it one more time. There's Hayden closing in on Robinson. Robinson checked to see if there were any reinforcements. There were none. Decided to take it, and in that one moment, Hayden was able to get in there and deflect this ball out of play. Silver lining, though, Ishjom going to take his third corner kick of the match. This will be an Accelerated Wealth corner kick right in front of the Accelerated Wealth Business Club. Ishjom sends this one in, and that one was redirected right into the arms of CJ Cochran. As we take a look at this again.
Nice ball in. Chris Reeves just reaching that right foot around the defender. Not able to get too much on it. Mike Seth lurking on the doorstep, but cleanly claimed by Cochran. And Fresno FC doesn't give up the second goal, but a nice ball in and a good win from Chris Reeves.
This one played here to the near side by Fresno. Trying to extend their 3-match unbeaten streak. 4 of their last 5 they've gotten points from. Now Hayden down the near sideline. Gives this one back to Moses. Moses to the top of the 18. And Radabaye, as this one comes in our direction. And I think everybody, including Radabaye, thought that the play had been whistled dead, so he just fired it. Ends up going in the stands, and it's a throw in here for Fresno, which they then bring to the middle of the field. Jamal Johnson plays it down for Martin, sends this one in loose in the box. Argueta just gets a foot on it, and now picked up by Switchbacks FC. Here comes Hundley with fresh legs. Hundley with Mike Seth to his left. Couple of Foxes coming in from behind, and they take it away. Referee says clean tackle there as Moses plays it to Johnson, and now out wide. Johnson across midfield, chips this one forward. He's looking for Chavez, and Chavez ahead of the defense gets whistled for offside. The Shandy Clinic, exceptional therapy for exceptional children. The Shandy Clinic, proud sponsor of Switchbacks FC.
Great break forward by Hundley. Mike Seth just bringing the defender with him on that run. Hundley ended up getting muscled out of it in the end. Just too many numbers back for Fresno FC, but that's how the Switchbacks can be dangerous with Fresno pushing further and further forward. The Switchbacks will have opportunities to use their speed, maybe some of their fresh legs to get in behind the visitors.
Now the Sun playing a role here in this second half as Andre Rawls sends it downfield. One play towards midfield, and Radabaye tries to get to Seth, redirected. Saeed Robinson ends up on it. Back to Radabaye. Fresno's pressuring Chavez all over in Radabaye. And this one played back to Andre Rawls. Over to Jordan Burt. Missed with the header, but... I say but, no but. Whistle going against Switchbacks FC. I thought maybe a push in the back was coming, but not to be, as now Fresno will make a substitution, and I regret that I did not speak this into existence because I figured that the last substitution we would see for Fresno would be Juan Pablo Caffa, and that indeed is the case. So everyone that normally starts for Fresno are the guys that are being brought off the bench here in the second half by Andy Smith. So Caffa into the matchup, and he is very talented in the midfield, as Hiroki Kurimoto will come out of the match. Another Gold's Gym substitution, the third and final substitution to be made tonight by Fresno, as Ibrahim Yarrow tried to get his chest on it. Instead, he'll let this one go out, so it will be a corner kick for Fresno.
Yeah, Phil Long corner kick. As you said, Ibrahim Yarrow seeing that one out. Juan Pablo Caffa, a ton of experience, ton of quality coming up from Argentina. And he's a dead ball specialist as well for Fresno FC, and they've got both center backs forward for this Phil Long corner kick.
And Chavez tried to get his head on it. Did get his head on it, but not much behind that ball. Harmlessly slides out for a goal kick. Fans, who's up, who's down, find out each and every week on Monday when the USL Championship unveils its power rankings at uslsoccer.com. Again, every Monday. Switchbacks FC trying to move up further in the power rankings. The standings and the power rankings have not been kind to Switchbacks FC this season, and there is an injury here to Mike Seth, and he is clutching the back of his head. You got a good look at it, Roland, and now everyone will get a good look at it here.
Yeah, just the elbow lent into the back of the head of Mike Seth there as he goes up for that header. Heavy landing for Seth as well. Ortho Centura nod to the dock. There's AP, the Switchbacks trainer, out there looking after Mike Seth, as we said. Ortho Centura nod to the dock. Hopefully Mr. Seth is going to be all right. He's applied a lone furrow tonight for the Switchbacks. Jordan Burt's done a good job supporting him in the second half for the Switchbacks FC. Jordan Burt just having a word now with head coach Steve Tritchue on the far side of the field, as Mike Seth's going to just have to come off, excuse me, before he checks back in. Looks like Seth is going to be all right.
Michael Radchuk guiding him to the near side of the field. Of course, the USL Championship on the cutting edge in terms of concussion protocol. A new rule that's going to be coming into play in the next couple of years is that if a player is going to be evaluated for a concussion, they can have a free substitution that does not count against their normal 3, which understandably alleviates some of the pressure on the head coaches. They only get 3. They're also precious. And if a guy's being evaluated from a head injury, you certainly don't want a coach being, in a way, penalized for substituting him if he turns out that he is okay to come back in. This rule would allow that to happen here, as Fresno has it in the midfield. Jamal Johnson picked up by Ibrahim Yarrow. Back to Johnson. He'll try to play this one through, and it looked like Yarrow ended up on the seat of his pants. Ball ends up squirting out for a goal kick, and we'll get the second substitution of the match for Switchbacks FC. As you see, take a good look at Alex Milano making his way into the match. Switchbacks midfielder, and I think what happened there is that the training staff of the Switchbacks said, I think that's it for you, Mike Seth. So Alex Milano will come in. Mike Seth comes out. It'll be the second Gold's Gym substitution of the half for Switchbacks FC. Meanwhile, Andre Rawls, very particular about where he wants his guys set up here. And he'll send this one downfield looking for Jordan Burt.
Yeah, Burt will be pushed even further forward now with that substitution of Mike Seth being flanked by Saeed Robinson. Alex Milano will do his best to get forward as well. We talked about what a dead ball specialist he is and how deadly he is on that right foot if he gets any opportunities outside the box.
Johnson working on Schweitzer. Cross was deflected out by Chris Reeves, and this will result in a corner kick. And it will be Kaffa going over to the far side to take this one for Fresno, as time running out for the visitors as they try to keep their 3-match unbeaten streak alive. It'll be a Phil Long corner kick for Juan Pablo Kaffa.
Referee's just going to have some words. A little bit of pushing and shoving off the ball is to be expected.
Veselevich and Schweitzer getting tangled up. That's not the first time those two gentlemen have been jockeying for position. As now Kaffa sends the ball in, going far post over everyone's head. And Ishjom can just let this one roll out of play. So throw-in coming for Switchbacks FC.
That ball really accelerating off the surface. Didn't land too far outside of the 18-yard box. As soon as it did, zings out for a Switchbacks throw-in. That'll be cleared long up towards Saeed Robinson, who's now interchanging with Jordan Burt up front for the Switchbacks.
Now Kaffa, fresh off that corner, sends it into the corner where Martin gets on the other end. Martin trying to get around Yarrow. Ibrahim Yarrow, great defense there. Look at those two guys battle on the far side. Yarrow comes in to finish up the play, but it will still be a Fresno throw-in, as Jamal Johnson will do the honors here. Now Saeed Robinson takes it away off the throw-in and just clears it downfield, almost like a hockey team clearing the puck out of the zone. Now Moses in the midfield as Fresno tries to regroup. Casillas back to Moses, wanting some help, not receiving any, and now the ball will be taken away by Switchbacks FC. Schweitzer to Chris Reeves. He'll send this one downfield. Syed Robinson trying to get it on the other end. Headed away by Martin Del Campo. And now Kaffa. Great chip forward looking for Johnson. With that wet surface skipped out of his reach, but all that is irrelevant as Johnson whistled for offside.
Yeah, just making his run a little bit too early. Nice idea to chip that ball in over the top, let him run after it, but he just made that run just a hair too soon, and the Switchbacks defense had stepped up to draw him offside. Discussions going on the far side of the field between Woldy Harris and Steve Tritchu, just organizing their troops. As you see there, great job by the guys in the truck. Just seeing that run by Johnson made a hair too early.
And Fresno certainly didn't like the decision that was made by one of the referees on the side. It benefits the home team, though. We're inside the last 10 minutes in this one. Seth Moses within the midfield circle. Fresno's team, all sorts of dangerous still, so Switchbacks cannot let up.
And you can cut that tension on the Switchback sideline with a disposable plastic knife. Right now, Switchbacks desperate for that win. Desperate to hold out for these remaining 8 minutes and some change. We'll see how much stoppage time as you see Chris Reeves picking up the yellow card. Hanson Hot Springs yellow card going to Chris Reeves for that challenge there on the far side of the field, right in front of the Widener Apartment Homes billboard. It's Elijah Martin who is down. Looks like he's going to be all right to continue, and Chris Reeves picking up that Hanson Hot Springs yellow card. As we see the doc, our Ortho Centura nod to the doc coming out there to help out Martin. Get a good look at it here. Reeves coming across, making the challenge on Martin. Martin winning the free kick and the yellow card being dished out to Reeves. And now Fresno FC will have a good opportunity. Juan Pablo Kaffa standing over this ball, both center backs. Once again, forward for Fresno FC. Andre Rawls organizing his wall. Juan Pablo Kaffa, the Argentine, I believe, going to whip this one in with the left foot. Try to place this ball right on top of the penalty spot as everybody crashes it on top of Andre Rawls.
And here comes that free kick, and this one headed just over the bar. And my broadcast partner breathes a huge sigh of relief as Fresno put it right on the spot they wanted to. Just ends up sailing over the head of Andre Rawls and over the crossbars. We take a look at it again.
Beautiful.
Kaffa is just so good in these situations, and he placed it right. Look at all the black jerseys that were around, and Kaffa just drops it in there.
Yeah, beautiful from Kaffa. That header down off of the head onto the shoulder and over into the trailheads. It's a great opportunity there for Fresno FC. Switchbacks lucky. That header whistled over the bar. Now the Switchbacks winning a free kick of their own just inside the Fresno half. They'll use this to wind down the clock and reorganize a little bit. Jordan Schweitzer going to stand over this one, at least initially.
Fresno has made all the changes they're going to make, so this is the 11 that they have to use in order to try and get the equalizer here, because now Syed Robinson just nearly over the head of C.J. Cochran. I don't even know if Syed Robinson planned to strike it like that, but just a little bit more on it, and it would have gotten over the arm of Cochran.
I think it was a really good idea from Syed Robinson. He had to improvise, take that one so early, just trying to catch Cochran out off of his line, try to lob it over him with one deft move from the right foot, but just unable to get too much purchase on that. But Fresno FC, that's where they're going to be vulnerable to Switchbacks breaking quickly, making one or two quick, incisive passes, getting in behind Fresno FC as they push further and further forward as they try to keep themselves toward the top of the USL Championship Western Conference table.
Kaffa just past midfield, sends this one Up further, now gets it right back. This looks to be the game plan. Get it to Kaffa, he distributes. It doesn't work, get it back to Kaffa, let him distribute.
Yeah, he's not too keen on too much running off the ball, Juan Pablo Kaffa, but so deadly with that left foot, just stands in the middle of the park, pings it side to side, and as we saw, so deadly on those restarts as that shot goes well wide in behind Andre Rawls. He'll be in no hurry to restart this one for the Switchbacks.
While we have a moment, let's take a look at that sequence with Saeed Robinson again. He's played extremely well as Imran Abaye gets it up in the flick forward for Saeed. And as you said, Roland, had Cochran off of his line and just trying to pooch kick it over his head. Did not quite make it there, and now Switchbacks FC going to use their final substitution of the evening. But first, CJ Cochran has to play a ball off a hop. Got a 50-50 chance. I'm guessing who the substitution is for Switchbacks FC. Only 2 field players left on the bench. Of course, Stuart Sayus, the backup goalkeeper tonight. We'll see who that mystery man is here in just a moment. Now Ronnie Argueta with it. You know he'd like to score against his former team, and a whistle will go against Moses. Moses politely places the ball for Ronnie Argueta, and now here we go. It'll be Sam Rabin coming in for Saeed Robinson. Sam Rabin recently graduating from Wake Forest. Now playing professional soccer here as Saeed Robinson comes out for the Gold's Gym substitution.
It's a good shift put in by Saeed Robinson. Great to have him back in the fold for the Switchbacks FC after picking up a bit of a knock. It's kept him limited the past few weeks. As you said, Sam Rabin will come in. That'll just mean another bit of a rejig of the shape for the Switchbacks FC.
Jordan Schweitzer with it on the far side. Playing 2-man game there with Matt Hunley. And now that one knocked out. As we take a look here at our critical moment of the game, what else? The lone goal is Joan. Perfect cross into Jordan Burt, who heads in the back of the net for his 4th goal of the season. And again, you could just see the elation from the Switchbacks players.
Yeah, tremendous.
For our Penrose St. Francis critical moment of the game.
Yeah, tremendous header from Jordan Burt. Great run to that near post. What a great cross it was. You called that in live time. After the first cross had gone a little bit long, that ball just deliciously whipped in. As that free kick goes against the Switchbacks, and another yellow card. This one's going to go against Alex Milano. Hanson Hot Springs yellow card against the second half substitute, Alex Milano.
Milano grabbed the shoulders of Zach Ellis Hayden just to hold him up. And it will be a Hanson Hot Springs yellow card issued to Alex Milano. And on cue, Hayden tried to run that one down. Casillas throws it in looking for Hayden. And you could see, you know, sometimes guys maybe do a little bit extra, if you know what I mean, in order to get a call. You could see Zach Ellis Hayden is just not running as well as he normally does. That progress that was stopped by Alex Milano to pick up that yellow card really hurt his leg there, and immediately Fresno tried to get it to him twice as that ball ends up going out of play. And you can see Ellis still trying to work it out as he throws this one in. Switchbacks FC trying to keep their defending up here in the last few moments of this match. We'll see how much additional time will be added here. The Switchbacks faithful would just assume this thing be over as soon as the clock strikes 90, but we're going to get 4 additional minutes played in this match. 4 minutes of TikTok shop stoppage time. So Fresno with some second life here. They get 4 minutes to try and equalize. Switchbacks FC needing to defend for 4 more minutes. It has been more than 2 months since Switchbacks FC has tasted victory within the USL Championship. March 23rd, the season was 3 weeks old. They beat San Antonio here at Widener Field. Since then, 9 matches in USL play, 7 losses, 2 draws. Suffice to say that if this scoreline holds, everyone in this stadium will breathe a big sigh of relief as this one is headed back by Fresno. Andre Rawls comes out to play it.
Yeah, good starting position for Andre Rawls. Well off of this line, made the early call there. That ball just seen back to him, skipped off the surface, and nice hands not to give up a rebound on that one. Good play from Andre Rawls here. You see his starting position. This ball just clipped over the top. It really accelerates when it hits the surface. Just there, right in front of Rawls, does a good job to reevaluate and take that one as Jordan Burt tries to get in behind, giving a little bit of a grab. The referee, nothing doing, and that ball just going to be pumped long now by Fresno FC. They're in desperation mode to find an equalizer, are the Foxes.
Ibrahim Yarrow sends this one out of play.
And spare a moment to think about the energy levels of Ibrahim Yarrow, observing the month of Ramadan right now, not able to eat during daylight hours. Ibrahim Yarrow's put in a great shift at that right back position for Switchbacks FC. Hunley's done a good job since he's come on, as we see him hustling there, helping him out after his introduction in the second half, and a nice cross cut out by Ngwatabaye there, center back for the Switchbacks.
Fresno going to try it again with Kaffa. Kaffa hounded by Argueta, and a great clearance there by Wadabaye. And you mentioned Ibrahim Yarrow, as CJ Cochran says, I'm going to go get that ball myself, as he tries to roll it out and keep it in play. You mentioned Ibrahim Yarrow, had him on our Switchbacks football show leading into the OKC matchup, and we have it at one of the local eateries here in Colorado Springs. And Jordan Burt was also my guest, and he was eating a big plate of chicken right in front of Ibrahim Yarrow, who was observing Ramadan, but Yarrow was unfazed as Ellis Hayden gets ready to, or it's Casillas throwing it in.
Yeah, good job by Burt.
Moses plays this one back across midfield.
Yeah, good job by Burt, the player you just mentioned. Now leading the line, his legs are getting very heavy, and he's now the designated striker for Switchbacks FC. Nice touch there by Jordan Schweitzer. He'll just ping that one out to Hunley. This will run some valuable time off the clock for the Switchbacks.
Hunley moving down the far side of the field. Stutter steps, gets away from his defender. Hunley now one-on-one. Terrific offensive player, can certainly make something happen, but Casillas slides in there and ever so slightly guides the ball away from Hunley. Now a couple of hops played by Andre Rawls, as Chavez crashing the net there, as Andre Rawls sends everyone downfield, puts his foot through this one. All that's left is that final whistle. Moses working his way across midfield, tries to get a call, won't get it. Jordan Burt has it. Burt swings it out to the near side over the head of Milano. Ellis Hayden hurrying this one up, throws it in to CJ Cochran. Now this one sent over to the far side. Hunley with a beat on it. He'll let it go out of play. And Switchbacks fans have longed to hear it. The home side victorious 1-0 over Fresno, and the supporters group excited to say the least as that Trailheads flag gets carried up onto the concourse. Fresno's 3-match unbeaten streak is over, and there you take a look. Who else our man of the match, the captain, Jordan Burt, Better Business Bureau man of the match to be more specific, Roland. And if you're looking for a hero, why not look at the guy that you voted to wear that armband?
Yeah, Jordan Burt, he was fantastic all game long. Box-to-box performance from Jordan Burt. What a great run that was to the near post and such a deft header to finish that corner kickoff and to give the Switchbacks just a priceless 1-0 lead as you see him embracing Ronnie Argueta there. You can see how much, you can just see the relief on the Switchbacks players.
We'll have much more from Widener Field in just a moment. Switchbacks win it 1-0.
I'm feeling so cool.
Together. We're all for it.
All for it.
Lately I've been feeling so cool. Top to the bottom, just cool.
All for acceptance. Joining forces. Being an ally.
So cool. It's like
All for we. All for us.
All for together. The CW, dare to defy together.
To show appreciation for our diverse military community, Fox 21 SoCo CW and Affordable Flags and Fireworks have teamed up for the Great American Flag Swap.
Fox 21 and SoCo CW viewers will have a chance to swap out their old flag with the new one at select sponsored locations on Saturday, June 15th.
Old flags will then be retired properly at organizations within the community.
Go to fox21news.com and search Flag Swap for details.
The Great American Flag Swap on Fox 21 and SoCo CW.
You are a fantastic father.
Time travel, it's complicated.
I know. I've already done it.
You're my father.
I need to learn how to be like you.
What do you think it means to be like me?
You know.
How about this is all gonna go to your head, isn't it?
Oh, you know what? It looks like it might.
The Flash. Watch Tuesday at 7 on SoCo CW.
As we welcome you back to Widener Field, it's been a while since we've gotten to say that Switchbacks FC is victorious. Roland was still recovering, shall we say, from his St. Patrick's Day. March 23rd, the last time Switchbacks FC tasted victory inside the USL Championship. And here is the statistical proof that Switchbacks FC is victorious tonight.
Yeah, look at that shots statistic right there. Switchbacks out shooting Fresno FC 12-6. 4 shots on target for the Switchbacks. Just edged out in possession, but only important statistic is the one at the top there. 1 goal to 0 for the Switchbacks FC.
We talk about it all the time. Possession not necessarily the greatest indicator on who's winning a match. It's more those top 3 columns that or rows that you see there. And the most important one at the top has the home side up 1-0. Well, the Switchbacks will look to add to this recent run of success. A week from tonight, they will host Seattle Sounders 2. For Fresno, they return home as well, looking to bounce back next week. For our outstanding crew and my broadcast partner, Roland Vargas, I'm Ryan Kaufman saying goodnight from Widener Field. Switchbacks FC wins it 1-0.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.
He'll let it go